So they think money just magically appears when the government prints it? Think again. We're diving into the surprisingly sneaky world of money creation.
It's way more interesting than just a printing press, I promise. It's like a secret economic magic trick.
Exactly. Imagine a world where banks create money out of thin air. Sounds crazy, right?
Crazy but true. It's all about loans and a little bit of trust.
Trust in loans? Sounds like a recipe for disaster. Let's explore how this actually works. Let's start with a big misconception. Printing money, is that really the main source?
Nope. Printing physical cash is a tiny part of the story. It's like saying the tip of an iceberg is the whole iceberg.
So what's the real iceberg?
The real money-making magic happens in banks, through loans.
Loans? How does lending money create more money?
It's like baking a cake. You start with some ingredients, deposits, but the oven, the bank's lending, transforms them into something bigger and more delicious, the money supply.
Okay, let's say a bakery wants a loan to buy a new oven.
The bank doesn't just lend out existing money, it creates new money. It's like the bank is a money-making fairy godmother.
A money fairy godmother, so they just make up the money?
Not exactly make up, but they increase the bakery's account balance digitally. Poof. New money.
So it's like digital magic?
Exactly. It's based on accounting and regulations, not actual magic wands.
But isn't there a limit to this digital money making?
There are limits. Banks have to keep a certain amount of money in reserve, like a safety net.
Like a piggy bank for the bank?
Exactly. Let's say they keep 10%. They can lend out the rest.
And when the bakery spends that money, it ends up in another bank, right?
Right. And that bank can lend out 90% of that and so on. It's like a money snowball rolling downhill.
A money snowball. That's a great analogy. So it's a chain reaction?
Precisely. It's called the money multiplier effect. But it's not always perfectly predictable.
So banks can't just print money endlessly?
No way. They need to make a profit, so they only lend to people they think will pay back, right?
Makes sense. So what other limits are there?
Capital requirements, reserve requirements in some places, and the demand for loans. If no one wants a loan, no new money is created.
So it would like a supply and demand thing for money?
Exactly. And central banks play a big role in controlling all of this.
Central banks like the Federal Reserve are like the money police, right?
More like the money conductors. They don't directly create money, but they influence how much is created.
How do they do that?
They set interest rates, which affect how much banks lend. They also buy and sell government bonds.
Bonds? Sounds complicated.
Think of it like this. Buying bonds adds money to the system. Selling bonds takes it away. It's like adding or removing water from a pool.
So they control the flow of money?
Precisely. They also use communication to influence expectations.
Are there other ways money gets created?
Yes. Government spending, for example. But that's not really creating money out of thin air. It's more like shifting money around.
So it's like moving money from one pocket to another?
Exactly. Foreign exchange operations also play a role, and now we have digital currencies and cryptocurrencies adding another layer of complexity.
Cryptocurrencies, that's a whole other can of worm.
Indeed, it's a rapidly evolving field.
Why should we even care about how money is created?
Because it affects everything. Inflation, economic growth, financial stability, and even the distribution of wealth.
So it's like the engine of the economy?
Exactly. A well-managed money supply is crucial for a healthy economy. Too much, and you get inflation. Too little, and the economy slows down. It's a delicate balance.
That was a great discussion. It's amazing how much is involved in something we use every day. Thanks for explaining it so clearly.
My pleasure. It's a fascinating topic, and hopefully it's a little less mysterious now.
Definitely. I feel like I could explain this to my 11-year-old now.